Welcome to the Man Cave, the haunted zombie man cave today with this episode. I am Zombie Chris,
Zombie Mark.
and we are here to discuss season 5. Was this 5?
I believe we're on 5 of Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, the first, Walking Dead season 5, part 1. Alright, this TV, enough of this crap. I would rather you just show 20 episodes. But this splitting the season stuff, I know
Season
why you do
5
it.
in
I get
progress.
it. I get it. But so we're here to discuss season 5, part 1, the first 10 episodes, 8 episodes, whatever it was. However many. I honestly don't know. I watched them all, but I couldn't number them now. Anyway, we're here to discuss that. I will go first. I thought that this was the best season so far, at least, of Walking Dead since season 1. Season 1 totally grabbed me and hooked me, and I totally bought into the... I like Walking Dead because of the survival aspect. That's what hooks me to all the post-apocalyptic movie.
Okay.
I like that they have to scrounge for food and water, and it's one of those scenarios. I rarely do this with movies, but like with The Road, Mad Max, any post-apocalyptic movie, I go, well, what would I do? How would I find food? What would I do if I was cut off? And like, what kind of weapons would I try and make? And so, season 1, the beauty of it was how you were going to survive and all that stuff. That was the beauty of it. And they took a realistic approach to a zombie plague. It was like, what would you really do? And how would it really be like?
Yeah.
Season 2, got stuck on the farm, and the drama was enough to hold my attention. But then 3 and 4 got with the governor, and they just drug it out too far. And it was only just by, I don't know why, but I hung in with it and I watched it. 3 and 4. In hindsight, I don't know how I managed to do that. I think I just tuned in every week to see if the governor was going to finally die that week.
Yeah.
And finally, when they killed him off, I was like, thank you, Jesus. I was so sick of the governor. And they drug it out, and they drug it out, and they drug it out. The prison stuff, the governor stuff, it was just drug out. And I don't know if they even realize yet the full extent of how they fatigue their audience on that. I don't know if they get it. But with season 5, they did an amazing thing happen. They immediately started, here comes an issue, resolve. So the story arc, or episode arc, or however you say it, of storylines was reduced from 2 seasons down to 2 episodes. They resolved the cannibal thing, and by season or episode 3, it was all over. He just killed those dudes in the church. By the way, this is spoilers, so we're assuming you've watched the whole thing, so spoilers everywhere.
Yeah.
We're not gonna hold back, so we're gonna talk about it. So if you don't want to know, just turn it off. All right, so he just kills the dude in the church, and it's all over and resolved.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they would bring up an issue and resolve it. So now the whole cop thing in the hospital, as far as I'm concerned, is resolved. They might bring back elements of it still.
Yeah.
And it's open-ended to some degree. But for the most part, to my satisfaction, it's resolved.
Sure.
That is what I loved about season 5. It was awesome they were resolving things.
Well, season 1 started off so well. I love that pilot. Has to be one of the best pilots
It was fantastic.
in television history because I just loved it. I just thought it set the right tone.
Sure.
And of course, Rick is so important to the success of Walking Dead.
Sure.
And so I love his character, and I love that he kind of, after he gets out of coma, he's kind of figured out what's going on. He heals, and he's about to depart. He's like checked on his home or whatever, and he stops and goes back into town near the hospital, and he has like a face-to-face with the first zombie he ever saw. She's that half
The
woman.
half one, yeah. He
The
puts her
half
out of her
woman.
misery, right?
And he puts her out of her misery. But before he does, he has that wonderful exchange of, I'm sorry this happened to you. It's such a beautiful scene, and really kind of establishes who Rick is.
Uh-huh.
You know that this is this, and if you ever see the web short, by the way, of what happened to the half woman, it's worth checking out. By the way,
I never watched that. Okay, I'll check that out.
That one's worth checking out. I'm telling you, I really was. It's disturbing.
Okay.
You know, but at any rate, I love the way that the series started off, and then even like season 2. They get to the prison, and then the show just really just kind of bogs down
big time,
way too much.
And then it was
Governor overstayed the welcome.
Then the whole town, Woodsbury, was it Woodsbury?
Woodbury, or
Woodbury,
yeah.
They lingered on that, and Andrea and her, you know.
Yeah, she couldn't decide where she wanted to be with the prison or Woodbury. That went on too long.
Michonne was obviously, was obviously right about the governor, and
sure,
you're screaming at the TV, Andrea, listen to Michonne, just go. And
sure,
she, you know, it was very taxing.
Yeah, because really, when season 3 and 4, I mean, there was a point in season 4, I was like, I think I'm getting tired of this.
Exactly,
because it was just going on and on and on.
Exactly,
it's like
I thought the same thing.
The governor has exceeded his usefulness. Get rid of him. They finally do. Well, then they started something in the middle of season 4, which they're continuing to season 5, and I'm not sure I like it, but I think they're better at it season 5. This idea of okay, let's go with this character over here. Okay, now let's back up 3 days. Okay, now we got this character over here. Okay, let's back up.
Oh, okay.
And you keep doing, and they've been doing that since mid season 4.
Like that.
And then season 5 they've been kind of doing that. And I'm not sure that I like that.
Well, it's part of the ensemble.
I think you can go to that well too many times.
Well, I guarantee I know why you don't like it. You want to stay with Rick, and he's your main character.
Well,
and they're treating it like an ensemble,
right?
Where you go with this guy, you go with this guy.
Well, I had to play guilty there. I
wish
season 5 had more Rick in it. He's been hardly in season 5 so far, and I love his character. So I think I had to play guilty there.
The finale, the opening where he just kills that guy. Shut up. That was awesome. That was
the best season opener since the pilot.
Yeah.
Of a season.
Oh, well, I'm talking about the finale. I'm talking about the finale where he kills the cop at the very beginning of the finale.
Oh, yeah. The mid-season finale.
He catches up with the guy that ran away. The guy was running away, the cop, and he's still got his arms down.
Classic Rick, yeah.
He just shoots him and just shut up. It was classic. So I know, just because I know you're a brother, I know you like having a central figure that you stay with. You just like that.
I don't mind some detours, but I think they've been overdoing it.
A great example, MASH. You want to stay with Hawkeye. You don't give a crap about BJ. You don't give a crap about Honeycutt or whatever her name is. Winchester.
They're okay characters, but I want to stay with Hawkeye.
You want to stay with Hawkeye? Every episode's about Hawkeye, and they just kind of come and go around Hawkeye.
Right.
You just like that. That's what you like.
Sure. I'm guilty. Sure.
And so I think that they're doing a more ensemble-ish.
Yeah.
Where it's like Daryl and Carol and this and that, which I have no problem with. And I like it. And the reason I like it because it adds a layer to it, a detail to it. And it also adds how I put this. Bear with me. I have to say this crudely. It adds a Breaking Bad element to it. Meaning, and what I mean by that is this. Breaking Bad always stayed with Walter. So I don't mean it in that respect. Breaking Bad was genius because the smallest details affected major things. And like they would show a shot of something in the show, and then 3 episodes later you realize that was a monumental thing that took place. I mean, just leaving that book he got from the guy on the back of the toilet changes everything and destroys Walter. So bringing that to Walking Dead, by doing it this way, we can go with Rick and see what's going on with him, and then we go over here and we see their storyline, and you see how the details connect to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like is seeing. It's almost like a Tarantino movie. You're telling it out of order, which makes me appreciate the details more. So it's kind of like that. That allows me to enjoy the details more, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I like it.
I think it's counterproductive because it shines a light on the fact that they have. Especially right now, there's a lot of characters. There's not much balance because you've got some characters that are incredibly weak. I mean, that priest at that church,
it's horrible.
It's terrible. The guy can't act, and it's just a terrible character. I mean, We're supposed to believe this guy is afraid of his shadow and somehow has managed to stay alive for 2 years. I don't believe it for 1 second. Nothing about that.
God's will.
And to the idea that he had a bunch of church members who were trying to get in away from zombies. It's just an old wooden church. Yeah. You couldn't bust a window and get in. I mean, I don't believe it at all. I mean, like I could have. How many movies where we've seen a woman who's about 4'11" kick in a wooden door? We've seen it thousands of times. So I certainly could have believed the church members that they really wanted to get in. And that church is a sanctuary. They could have done it. I mean, I don't believe that he could have kept them out just by locking the door.
Well, I like is how the church is stupid. If all that stuff took place outside of it, it's pretty blemish free. The property, the church itself.
You're making my point.
And you'd think there's these zombies always lingering around it because they've established that zombies. They know somebody's in there will just stay there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like something else gets their attention and they wander off. If they know there's a meat source in there, they just stay there. So I get what you're saying. He is a weak character. It's a weak story element. I also think that the big guy,
Abraham.
Oh gosh, what's his
Tyrese?
name? Tyrese. I think he's weak because he's such a pussy. His sister's cool. Even the alcoholic guy that died was okay compared to Tyrese. Even the lesbian character, I can't think of her name. The lesbian character is stronger than him. Mm. She's stronger than him. To me, he's the weak link. If you're the preacher's the weak link to you, Tyrese is the weak link because he's such a pussy and an unreasonable pussy. You know what I mean? It's like, it's obvious you have to take these actions, Tyrese, and you keep pussing out. I've had it. I'd kick him off my team. It's like, okay, if you can't help this group survive, then we don't need you. You're a burden. You're one more mouth to feed. And he's so pussed out about everything. Everything. It's kind of like Dale, who was killed before. Tyrese to me is the new Dale. It's like every time they go in to make action, you have to listen to Dale give some waxing philosophical speech about it. And you're like, Jesus God, you could have just done the freaking action by now and been over with it. I got to listen to your bullshit. And it's going to make things worse. It always did with Dale. It's the same thing with Tyrese. Oh, if they had just done what fucking Rick said to do to begin with the Cotton Hospital, Beth would still be alive. Right? Beth.
Beth. Yeah.
Beth would still be alive. So his pussiness causes more problems.
Mm-hmm.
And as a viewer, it's frustrating because I'm like, fuck, I know where this is going to go. I want the conflict to be derived from the survival aspect and other groups aspect and the zombie aspect. The internal strife shit, to me, gets old.
Mm-hmm.
That is where Walking Dead frustrates me as a viewer. Like, internal strife, shit. You know what I mean? That gets really old.
Well, that's my concern going into, particularly this season. I feel like in its 5th season, it's like you don't want to go over old ground. The idea of having characters who just keep going, but we can't lose our humanity and all that. It's like, guys, we've been there. We've had characters that have gone through that journey.
Yeah.
Rick, for example, he's gone through that journey. You can keep your humanity, but you also know that you have to be pragmatic. Carol went through that journey. Michonne went through that. All these characters we know have gone through that journey. Right. To have these other characters come in, like season 4, and here they are, 2nd season. You still have Tyrese going, but we're losing our humanity. And it's like, dude, you had that.
It's lost.
You had that one character at the cannibal terminus place. And because you wussed out, wouldn't go ahead and kill him, he came back and darn near helped kill all of you. I mean, that's just, it's like, how did you not kill the guy? He was going to kill the little baby.
Judith.
Yeah.
Right, Judith. By the way, viewer note, I'm really bad with names, so you'll have to forgive me if I forget names all the time. It's just because I forget names all the time. All right. Well, I think it's the best season. They fixed a lot of problems. I don't have that many complaints. I agree the Preacher's weak. Tyrese could die in the next season, and I would be totally okay with that. Or man up. He needs to man up or die. One of the two. I've had it with Tyrese. I want that to be shored up. Other than that, I really don't have a lot of complaints. A lot of positives. I got a lot of positives. Daryl, I like where Daryl's headed. I like where Carol's headed. I love where Rick is at. I love where the hot chick, the British chick. Well, she's not in real life. She's British.
Maggie's character.
Maggie and Glenn. I like where they're at. I knew that the guy was lying about the cure, and so I like that they finally introduced that aspect. I kind of dig where that's kind of going, showing that he's lying, and now where is that going to be? Right. I dig that. So I don't want to be this all about the negative. I want it to be like I dig a lot. I love the resolving things. I thought the bad guy cop or the main chick cop. She must have done a hell of an acting job because I hated her so much. So.
Oh yeah, I had the same reaction. I did not like her character at all, but I knew it was out of her convincing performance.
She grated on me, which means she must have done a hell of a good acting job. Anyway, I got a lot of positives out of this.
Well, you're more positive than I am. I will say though, I'm enjoying season 5. I guess the most since season 2.
Okay.
And there has been some good things. I certainly like that they didn't leave Terminus, the survivors, hanging around forever and a day. They dispatched that quickly, so I was very relieved at that.
Great job on their part.
And they didn't let the thing go on with Abraham and his mission, and all that. They still could go there, if they wanted to, because it's a destination, it's an idea. But I like the idea that. They've kind of, like you said, tied up some loose ends. So they're all now kind of caught up and they're all together. So the next half of season 5, you feel like, you're in uncharted territory. And I think that's when the show works best, is when they're like out in the open and, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And they're in total survival mode. So I'm actually looking forward to the second half. So I'll end with that.